What's going on, everybody? Welcome. Another episode, Chat with the Muskrat with Creole. It's just me tonight. Unfortunately, Roger's daughter is not feeling well, so he is trying to help her out, get her back in good shape. So he's taking care of business tonight, and could appreciate some prayers. It always helps, right? Tonight, we're going to relax. We're going to take it easy. We're going to have fun, just open discussion. We're going to talk about whatever. Going to hang out, have a few laughs. Anything y'all want to ask in chat, whatever it may be, hey, y'all go for it. I got a little something in mind, something that I want to talk about, and we'll see where it goes, But first things first, we go say hi to everybody in chat. The first name I see, 6:30 p.m., name I hadn't seen in quite a while, Mr. Gula Cat. Long time no see, brother. Good to have you in chat. Got Fishing with the Mid-South. Mike, what's going on, brother? Got Mr. Lynn, Catfish Fever and Outdoors. 922 Crappie Barbecue, what's going on? Kelly, how you doing, brother? What's going on, man? Good to see you in here. Got Misplaced Country Girl Fishing. Welcome. Operations Vets with Nets. That must be my buddy Rich. What's going on, buddy? Got y'all logo up in the corner right there. Trying to spread the word. Stonefly 71. JR Fishing. That's got to be my buddy Richard. What's going on, man? Good to have you in the house. Got Angling with Andy. Welcome. Let's see. Mr. Mike Young, Mr. Paul Edmondson in the house. Harold Bolton. Fishing by Faith. Welcome. Eddie, River Junkies. What's happening? Avid. What's going on, buddy? Yep. Yep. It's just me tonight, brother. Solo show. I think we can make it happen, though. Mr. Sean Abney is in the house. We got a Facebook user. I don't have access to Roger's Facebook. I can't see who you are, but welcome. Appreciate it. Uptown Chrissy Brown. What's going on, Miss Chrissy? What's happening? JG Hill in the house. Mullet Man number 7. I don't know what happened to the other 6, but we got number 7 with us. What's going on, man? 351 Cleveland in the house. Mike G. My bumping brother, what's going on, man? Palmetto Cats, Kevin Lakin, what's going on, man? Good to have you in the house. The principal's in the house, so everybody we got to be on our best behavior tonight. The principal's watching. Rowdy Rawls in the house. Mr. John Boy, what's going on? One of my Louisiana brothers. What's happening? Danny Stone Outdoors, the Mississippi River Madman, and one of my RCT brothers. What's going on, Danny? Hope you're doing well, brother. Miss Tyra, Dirty South Dragon Weights. What's going on, Miss Tyra? Good to have you in the house. I need to get with you again. I need to order me some more weights. I had an unfortunate incident with a gill net. Y'all weights will go through just about anything, but they will not pass over a gill net. I found out, unfortunately. So I need to order me some more weights. Coming soon. The one time I try to drag, that's just how it goes sometimes. We're gonna talk a little bit about stuff like that tonight, among other things. We can talk about all kinds of stuff tonight. All right, let's see. Moving on down. Let's see everybody saying hi to everybody. Jeff Beal, what's going on, brother? What's going on, Jeff Beal? Mr. Greg Burgess in the house. Lance McCouguy, another one of my RCT brothers. What's happening? Another Facebook user in the house. Welcome. I see PMB Catfishing, Mr. Paul. Got Jerry in the house. What's going on, Jerry? Another one of my RCT brothers. Also one of my River Rat brothers, along with Danny and Richard. Imagine he'll Mom is here. What's going on, Mom? Hope you're doing good tonight. I'm sure Dad's probably sitting in the chair right next to you, both watching. So I love it. Got it. I love when my parents are here. Let's see who else we got. We got Daniel Berry Sports Highlights, a name I've been seeing in everybody's chats. I love it. Got another Facebook user in the house. What's going on? So I can't see your name. I don't have access to Roger's Facebook, so I can't see the names. And speaking of family in the house, I got my wife Laura in the house. Could order your. She showed me what she wants for her birthday. It's really cool. And I told her, I was like, hey, go for it. Order it. She probably got it pulled up already. It is really cool, though. Mr. Murillo, Everybody's favorite agent. What's going on, Mr. Murillo? Good to have you in the house, man. Let's see who else we got in the house. I said hi to Kelly. I said hi to John Boy. How do you attack the high water? I found them inside men with slower current and caught 2 good fish. We can talk about that a little bit because I hit that situation twice. The past 2 times I've been fishing, been dealing with high, trashy water. I can tell you how I approach it, and we can go from there. But yeah, good question. We're going to say hi to the rest of the folks, and we go touch on that just a little bit. Bugman in the house. What's going on, Bugman? Good to have you in there, brother. Let's see. Who else got Twisted Tackle Fishing? What's going on, man? Good to have you, man. Let's see here. Going on down the line. Everybody saying hi to each other. If I miss anybody, y'all please just call me out. Y'all fuss at me. 205 Wild Action. What's going on, man? Mike Stokes Fishing in the house. 3 nights. Welcome, man. Good to have you in the show. I know. I probably should, but I can't hide nothing from her anyway. She's the manager of the bank where we do all of our business. So I don't know. I guess the right thing to do to be ordered for her, but when do I ever do the right thing, right? Well, that's the route I'm trying to go to. So no, Jerry, no new house for this birthday. We ain't gonna make it for this one. No. We're not even going on there. Michael Creech, the legend himself, the enforcer. What's going on, brother? RCT Brothers. We got a lot of RCT Brothers in the house tonight. Got Size Matters Catfishing. Let's see. We got Dog and I Outdoors. Mr. Curtis Cunningham. What's going on? David Smith in the house. Let's see. It's the. I get it, Terry. It's the point. I know. I never do get the point though. I'm just that kind of guy. Hey, come get her, Mike. She's right there. She's right there in the room. Come get her. Come get her. Oh, boy. The bank managers don't get a hold of all the money. I can tell you now. 2 Stands Fishing. My OG broadcast brother. What's going on? All right. So we'll try to say hi to everybody as they come in. Got James Bailey Catfishing. See, look, everybody's still coming in. We'll catch them. Don't worry. All right, Mike, you asked about high, fast, trashy water, which I'm pretty sure that's something that everybody's dealing with right now. So this is my approach, and I just so happen to have Google Earth Pro pulled up on my little side monitor right here, so we can actually kind of take a look at this, and I can show you what I do, where I found success at. Mr. Ted Ellebecker in the house. What is going on, man? Good to have you in the house. You can critique my information here for me. Tell me if that way you can tell the people if I'm full of it or not, right? Okay. So let me back on out. Let me find myself on the map, and we're gonna talk about some nasty water. Because I can literally show y'all exactly where I fished, where I found them, and what the water was doing. That's the great part about all this. Butterflies and sunshine. What is happening? Okay, let me see. We're gonna share a screen. We're gonna go here. Yes, I want to share this one. There we go. Okay, so hopefully y'all can see all that. All right, cool. Now, here's what we're going to do. Fast water, all right? This is what Mike's talking about. This is my stretch of river that I love fishing right here, okay? Chaffalaya River, just west of the Mississippi. It is raging fast right now. It was flowing 270,000 at the time I fished this past Sunday, which is good enough for about 3 to 4 miles an hour of current in the Atchafalaya. That's what 270,000 put us in there right now. So we tried a multitude of things. Okay, I went here to this dam that's not flowing any water. I went catch my bait. We looked at my hydro right here where you see the mouse. I marked two catfish in that entire hydro channel, and it was trashy. It was unbelievable how trashy it was. Zach Murray, Simplify Marines. What's going on, man? Good to have you in the house. Got another Facebook user in the house. What's up, fellas? So we couldn't find fish there, just too trashy. Okay, so what do we do next? Like we always do, we backed on out. We came to the confluence right here that you can see. Let me find me a better map. This one isn't as good looking as what I would like to see. Let's try to find a little better one. Okay, there we go. I like that a little better. Anyway, I'm trying, Dad. I'm trying to make it bigger. I got you. I'm trying to make it bigger. So next thing we did, we came to my confluence right here of the Red River and the Mississippi Outflow Channel. And same problem. Trash. Loads of trash coming down this channel from the hydro, and also quite a bit of trash coming down Red River here. So I had it funneling in from two directions, hitting this big current seam right here and just making an absolute log pile, all in this current seam. We did spot lock here for a bit, and amongst all the trash, I did manage to catch one fish, but just was not happy with what I had going on. Let's see. Let me back up just a second. I thought I saw some other people. I know I saw Stan 3 come in. I seen him in here somewhere. So welcome, brother. Good to have you in the house. Brandon, Catfishing Dreams. What's going on? Well, actually, no, not at the time. There's not really an eddy because the fast currents here, they pull together right here really tight. There's a very, very small eddy right here close to the bank, but it's in shallow water. And I'll be honest, I have never caught a fish in that small eddy right off this point. That current just rips this seam right out of here. So again, just trash everywhere. I saw some active fish, but it was just the fishing was just too tough. So I told myself, I said, okay, here's what we need to do here. Got to get out of the trash. Okay, got to get out of the trash. And this is the same situation we faced when Brandon and I fished Winter Blues. Very, 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 very similar situations. The same things were going on. I said, well, we're going to go back to what works. What I like doing myself, and I can show you a couple of examples of this on the screen. I start coming downriver. I've got certain spots, and you can actually see them in the mud lines right here. See this bank cut in right here? This big bank cut in. It's pretty deep. Goes into the bank pretty far. And you can actually see right here the current seam that it makes coming right off of it. Miss Sue Willie, how you doing? I see you in there now. Now I see your name. Okay. I've got this big current seam here that the trash will usually stay out in the seam. And what I'll do, I'll spot lock myself just on this seam, and I'll really get in close where y'all can see. But I'll put my boat literally right here on this mud line and fish what I'll call the clean side. Because over here on this side of the seam, you're still got current, but you don't have the trash. And I usually find fish in these situations. Mike, yes, you are right. That spot right there does hold a ton of Asian carp. A lot of times when we're snagging Asian carp, this is the area that we're in right here. Now, the only thing I don't like about a spot like this is the fact that when you have a spot like this and the bank cut in is aggressive enough, you'll get what's called a back eddy. And basically what happens is this current peels off, hits the back of the hole, and it'll turn and it'll come opposite way along the bank like this. Normally, I love a back current. I love a back eddy. I love when that happens, except when there's a lot of trash. Because what will happen is this back eddy will actually pull some trash out of this seam, and it'll start wanting to make the loop like this, and it'll just pile trash all in this spot right here. And that's kind of what we had going on in this situation. So I decided, it's close, but it's not quite what we want. Justin's Fishing Fetish, what's going on? See, Matt want to be outdoors. Good to see you, Matt. In case I didn't tell you, I don't want to forget anybody. I don't like it when I get forgot. So, Buckeye catfishing, what's happening? Okay, so I did mark fish in this spot, but I didn't mark them on this ledge here. Catfish and crappie. What's going on, Mark? Good to have you in the house, brother. May your days be filled with fresh hot bacon. Like, you can't wish for anything better for anybody, right? Normally, when I see active fish in this area, they are stacked up right here. There's a ledge that comes down from about 25 feet down to about 60. And they'll just be piled up on this ledge, nose to it, ready to eat, right? Well, I marked the fish back in the middle of the scour hole, just kind of belly on the bottom. That's typical of what I see when the fish are just belly down, trash hitting them in the face. They're most likely not going to eat. Not to say I can't pick one or two out the pile of 20 or 30, but it's not going to be what I like to see. Small water charters, what's happening? Missy Kennedy, what's going on? Shad Daddy in the house. Maybe some whiskey too. Mark, you're right. Or some moonshine in my case. So, like I said, I marked fish, but I didn't like where I marked them. So I said, okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. But this spot is not quite what I want to see. So I moved on. I came down river some more. Okay. Come on down river. Okay. Right here. Here's another juicy looking bank cut in. Very similar situation. There's actually a sandbar right in this part of the hole right here. Again, it makes a nice current seam coming through here. Similar situation. Got a big ledge coming down, little scour hole here. Didn't mark any fish. Marked bait. Did not mark any catfish. Can't tell you why. I don't know why, but they weren't there. So I said, okay, I don't see any catfish on my sonar. We're going to move on. Sean T. Yes, you heard that correctly. And in memory of Toby Keith, yes, hold up the red Solo Cup. Heard about his passing early this morning. So, yeah, in honor of Toby Keith, hold up those red Solo Cups. So, again, I didn't mark any catfish. So, I'm going to move on. I don't normally fish spots where I don't see fish. I'm just not the type to throw out in a spot and wait and see what happens. I want to throw baits at fish. That's how I do things. So I said, well, okay, we didn't mark any fish, so we're going to move on again. We came on down. And I came all the way down, which keep in mind, this is kind of going back towards the landing that I used to put in, keep in mind. And Sean T, you ought to recognize that spot. That's where you caught your shark at, buddy, right here. But we've got this, it's a channel, kind of an oxbow that there's no current coming through this channel here. You got a mouth right here. We had tried to fish it early. In fact, we stayed there for about 45 minutes early in the morning because it was foggy. I couldn't see anything. And there was just an absolute log pile in this big eddy right here. I'm talking logs the length of my boat, okay? All in this spot. So I said, nope. I got tired of fighting it. As soon as the river cleared up, we took off. So, okay. So I said, you know what? I looked at Dad and Gabe. I said, man, we're running out of spots. We need to get this figured out. So I said, okay, I know where there's another cut in that we need to go look at. That's this one right here, just across the river from where we were. Now, I'm going to really zoom in tight on this one because there's a lot of stuff going on right here. Again, it's got all the things I like to see. I got a nice cut in here. I had a good hard seam coming out this way. And what's interesting about this spot is the back eddy is way back here. It's way back on the backside. So it pushed that trash way to the back. I've got all of this that's clear. Goober Time God Service. Dan, it's good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. So I said, okay, that checks a box. It's clean. I passed over the top of it, marked some good fish on the ledge here, and I marked a couple of nice marks in the back of the hole. Exact same situation. This is where Brandon and I caught all of our fish for winter blues, is this same spot. Same situation. So I said, okay, I think we're on to something. We got some fish here. Again, what I always do, I set myself up, spot lock my boat here, like Roger taught me. Took me a couple of swing rods. I chunked them out in the middle of the river, and I let them swing me over to get against this ledge, one close to the boat, one about mid-range, one far back, and I took my fourth rod and I tossed it right out here where that back current kind of came together and keep it out of the trash. And folks, that's where the fish were. Within 5 minutes, we had the first fish. Not long after that, we got a good double, a 37 and a 20. So I was literally catching the fish on this scene. But the trick is I had my rods out of the trash. So that's so Mike, I hope that kind of encompassed everything that you asked, but that is my approach to fishing a fast, high, trashy river. I want to find a spot where I can get out of the trash, but just barely. I want half my boat in the trash line if it's safe. Let me start by saying that, if it's safe. The big stuff was really out here in the river. It wasn't as bad right here, but this is still kind of in the end of an outside bend. I don't fish inside bends very much because they're usually very shallow. There's sandbars. I just don't see many fish on inside bends. I stick to the outside bends, but I concentrate on these cut ends that have a clean seam that I can put rods in the clean side. And I'm talking a few feet out of the trash. Like you're watching stuff pass by your line the whole time, missing it by a couple of feet. But that's where I've always caught fish in these situations, in these high trashy rivers. It's done me a lot of good over the years, and it's my approach to things. Let's see. Let me get back out of that. There we go. Let's see. Hit the bullseye. I think the fish move to the edge of channels and to a good element closer to the banks. You hit a structure with the great elements out of the main flow. Yep. And it's where the fish were. It's a situation I've hit before, and I've noticed, time and time again that I used to throw 2 rods in the nasty stuff, 2-3 rods in the clean stuff. The 2 rods that are doing this the whole time, full of line trash, never got a bite. That first rod that wasn't moving because of line trash, that catches 75% of the fish. That first one. It gets to the point now where I'll throw rods out on the fast side just to see where my trash is, where I can pick and say, okay, that rod is the closest one to the trash and not in it. The other rods that are in the nasty stuff, I get them out. They're not going to catch me a fish. They're just not. Close as you can to the trash without getting in it. That is my approach. My fish are usually found in deeper water. But that's my pattern. That's what works for me, right? There are fishing that lakes are life. What is current? Hey, with no current, I'm lost. I can tell you now, everything that I know and believe in to find fish is based on current. I have fished areas with no current. I have very little experience in it. I'm gonna force myself to do it, expand my horizons a little bit. But everything that I know is based on current, and usually fast current. I'm not used to dealing with slow current. I'll be honest with you. Let's see. What about where a swifter river meets a not so swift river? Well, I can show you that, because one of the spots I talked about for most of the year, that is actually the exact situation that this spot creates. So we can actually talk about that. Okay. I'm going to back on up river here. We're going to go back to what I affectionately call my honey hole. So what I have going on here is we'll zoom in enough where y'all can really see. Okay. Coming from north to south is Red River. This is the end of Red River. This is the same Red River that passes through Texas, Oklahoma, and places where it originates. I don't know. I know it comes through Oklahoma and Texas before it gets to me. This is the end of Red River. For most of the year, this is a much slower current speed than this big outflow channel that comes from these dams off of the Mississippi River. For most of the year, the current is double in this channel than it is coming out of Red River, okay? Let's see. I think I had another. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that one highlighted so I'll know where I left off at. Hopefully we don't get too far left with everything. And I'll tell you what that fast current does in this situation. This channel here, average in this spot is about 70, anywhere from 70 to 90 feet deep, depending on time of year and river level. This river here is an average of 40 feet. In my experience, when you're dealing with an alluvial river, big word, but that's basically no rock. There's no rock, no natural rock. Everything is dirt. Everything is dirt and sand. That's what I mean by alluvial. It's dirt bottom, mud bottom. Your faster river is usually also going to be deeper. That fast water just carves everything out. So what I've got going on in this situation is it creates this off the end of Red River here, off of this point, this fast water has carved a ledge just like this. That's the same shape as the current seam, okay? You've got a shallower bottom here, and it falls off this ledge to deeper water. The closer you are to the point, the steeper and taller that ledge is. Right here next to the point, it's nearly vertical, and it's about 50 feet tall. As you move away from the point, it starts flattening out, and the difference in the two bottoms, two river channels, becomes less and less and less as it goes. And what has happened here is it'll actually make like a little bit of a back eddy right here where the current likes to swirl, and there's a little pocket that it's carved into the shallower river because that water's so fast it's coming around. It's actually carved a little pocket going into it like this. And that's where a lot of my fish come from. My fish come in this pocket where this back current kind of loves to come around. And the fish will also stage up along this steep part of the ledge, because I think it gives them a little better protection from some of that current coming this way. And that fast current slamming here, I think it kind of helps pin them against the base of that ledge. And this back current may offer a little bit of slack water for them to hide in, to ambush things. And you'll always, the faster water will push the seam that way. Depending on the current speeds, this seam could be way out here if Red River's flowing fast, or the seam could be way out here if my channel is flowing fast and Red River is flowing slow. So that's kind of the two things that I've got going on. And hopefully that kind of gives you a little vision of what it looks like when you got fast water coming into slow water. Also keep in mind, you may have a water temperature difference depending on where both these bodies of waters are coming out of. In my case, this Mississippi River water here is a lot of times way colder than the Red River water. I've seen a 12-degree water temperature difference from one side of this current seam to the other, this mud line, depending on where your water's coming from. That is also something to keep in mind. And it's also, one could be a lot cleaner than the other, depending on where they're coming from. And those fish will stage up accordingly in the clean water, in the dirty water, because it moves the bait within the seam. It may move them 4, 5, 6 feet one way or the other, depending on where your dirty water is and where your clean water is. And knowing that difference is everything. If you got your bait in the dirty water and needs to be in the clean water, you could be off 5 feet and not catch a fish because that fish don't want to move in that dirty, nasty water to go get your bait. It makes a huge difference. I love mud lines. You have to be precise when you fish them. That is my experience. Precision is everything, and exactly where you put your baits at. Okay, so see what we got here from Kelly. Let's see. Same concept of no current. Look for structure on points and where the water has dug out. I don't see why not. To have those type of cut-ins holes, things like that. They had to have current running through that area at some point to create these features. So I think if you imagine it like if current were coming down, it'll kind of help you pinpoint where things should be and kind of help predict some of this stuff. We do that a lot in the Oxbow Lakes, which used to be main channel Mississippi, but it's old abandoned channels that the river cut off over time. But you treat them still like they have flow to try to figure out, kind of predict where these holes and stuff might be. But any odd feature has the potential for holding fish, depending on where it is, what's around it. You know, a hole is just a hole until you put a log pile on the bottom of it, until you put some funky looking ledges around it. Now you've got these multiple things going on all in the same spot. Now you've got something that's unique to an area. Something that's unique tends to hold fish. If you've got one dock on an entire stretch of bank, guess what? That one dock's probably going to hold fish. It's the only one like it. If you've got 100 of them going down a bank, okay, which one is unique? If they're all built exactly the same, every one of them might hold 2 fish. Who knows? But if you find something that's unique and stands out, you got a chance of it holding fish. I think I got behind just a little bit. Let's see. Got Stan talking about catcon, tackle bandit. Yeah. There you are. This time of year, that slow river, yeah, it can be a few degrees warmer, and that could mean the difference of holding some bait and catching fish. During the spring, that is deadly for us on that Red River confluence. Them fish will move over. The bait will move over in that warmer water just a little bit. Man, it makes for an awesome situation. Just it happens just at that certain time of year, you know. I agree. One day you need to come down here and we need to make a little adventure out of it. Kind of show you what we got. I will say that so far, everybody from out of town, out of state, who has come fishing down here has been amazed with everything they see. You know, with the structure and the deep ledges and the holes. And I think because our river runs so fast most of the time, it creates these drastic features. And that's what I find fish on. You know, a 45, 60 degree slope, nice, gentle, pretty slope on a ledge. That doesn't hold fish for us. It's those really ugly, big, steep ledges. It's odd. It's an odd feature, and that's what holds fish for us. Freddie, FOA Customs and Gear. What's going on, buddy? Once again, Freddie, I put your 40-pound line to the test Sunday. In probably, that's more trash than I've ever attempted to fish in, ever. And no nicks, no cuts, no breaks. Did just fine, brother. It passed the lumber test once again. A bus driver for the boat team. Oh, you killed me. I don't even know what tournament you're talking about. I'm not keeping up with all the tournament stuff right now. I'll at me a messenger. You've got my curiosity. And Creed, you're right. It's not typical fishing for most folks. It because of the current speeds, because of the depths, because of some of the things we see. But the rules still apply. If you've got slower water coming into fast water, the phenomenon is still the same. It'll still do the same things. Maybe not to the degree that it does for me, but you'll still see the same things. You may see a 10, 20-foot difference instead of a 50-foot like we do. You know, you may not see a 12-degree water temperature difference. You may see 2 or 3 degrees. It may not be as drastic, but it doesn't mean that the same thing is not going on. You might just be dealing with more gentle, more, smaller stuff, Jody, I would say yes. If you've got a line of docks along a shoreline and only one has lights, I would say that is a definite outlier that would get my attention because the lights would attract bait fish. bait fish attract big fish attract even bigger fish. I would say definitely. I'd make a beeline to anything that's got a light on it, especially if nothing else is lit around it. Oh, yeah. Big time. Hey, I'm not hard to find. I'm not hard to find. Just follow the Mississippi on down. That's all you got to do. I'm not hard to find, but let's see. Without current, it's depth, then structure. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. When you take current out of the equation, it changes how fish relate to certain things. You know, especially fast current, the fish kind of have no choice but to just get in certain spots because they can't, not say can't, they can. They don't want to expend all that energy all the time swimming in that fast current. That is a waste of precious energy for them. But they also don't want to waste precious energy swimming 5 miles to try to get away from it. They're going to find the closest, most convenient way to duck just out of it. Because guess what? That current is also a buffet line. They know it's bringing them food. So they don't want to go too far away. They're just going to duck right out of it real easy. They're not far away. I have learned that a lot these past few years is that sometimes the fish don't move as much as you think they do. They really don't. 10 feet makes a huge difference for me perpendicular to the channel. You know, towards the channel, away from the channel, fast part of the seam, slow part of the seam. It makes 10 feet is everything. There's been many times I could not get a bite. I literally jog my boat over 2 clicks, 10 feet. And the lines, you know, I don't have to pull up my lines. The lines just move behind the boat with it. You know, the current just pulls them back there. I start catching fish. 10 feet laterally is a big deal when you're fishing these seams and mud lines and trash lines and stuff. It's a big deal. Yeah, Stan, look, sometimes you got to try something out and see how it does. I put it on 2 of my rods, and so far I cannot find a disadvantage over standard mono other than my dad has trouble seeing it under certain, like if it's cloudy, he has trouble seeing it because of the thinner diameter. I could see it fine. Gabe could see it fine. That's about the only thing I could possibly come up with is the vision part. And it could be the thing with the orange line. It was a cloudy day. It's, you know, it's got a lot of stuff going on. But as far as being tough and being able to take the punishment, it's definitely got it. I just haven't caught a big fish on it yet. Every big fish we've caught so far has come on one of the other rods, naturally. So I guess I'm just going to have to fish with those 2, and that's it. And that way we can test it. But so far, I'm really impressed with how it's held up. Danimal, what's happening, brother? Good to have you in the house, man. Let's see. I think I'm getting a little behind in chat, and I don't like when I do that. Let's see. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, if you get in the red now, yeah, about Friday you'll be down here. Friday, Saturday. Of course, you got to pass through 5 locking dams to get to me, though. It's not a straight run. I'm below the last one, so you'd have locked through quite a few times by the time you get down to me. That's okay though. Yeah, Freddie is coming out with a new leader: 50, 85, and 125 pound leader. Some use heavier, some use lighter, thinner. Yeah, and it's a thinner line. So if you're after the diameter, you may have to go to the 125 to get the same diameter you're used to with the 80 pound, because that's the diameter does make a big difference. Because I know on my reels, normally they're going to hold somewhere around 250, 270 yards of regular 40 pound mono. Yeah, I put 525 of Freddy's on these Ancient Mariner 7000s. You know, not a huge reel by any means, but it's not going to hold some line. I was I reeled forever to put that line on there, but you got line capacity. You don't have to worry about running out. Let me tell you. Let's see. Think of some of the best spots are the spots that most people drive right over. Yeah. And I imagine I drive over a lot of stuff that most people would stop for. But like I said, we have such these big drastic features. I tend to go to those first because as some people are starting to see, they hold a lot of biomass. A lot of bait, a lot of fish. Brandon saw that on my sonar. He was amazed with just the stuff we see on sonar. We have to be really good at identifying what kind of fish it is on 2D sonar because you're not going to just see catfish on my sonar. That just doesn't happen. You're going to see 3, 4, 5, maybe 8 different species of fish on the same sonar screen. You better be able to tell what you're looking at. Otherwise, you're going to waste a lot of time fishing for fish that aren't catfish. Yeah, and that's why I picked that right there is a good point. And she's talking about when you mark fish, you cast back. There's a possibility you could end up overthrowing and throwing beyond the fish. That's why something else that Roger taught me about nudging those baits back towards you a little bit at a time. You may have thrown just behind that fish. You may have thrown just behind it. But now that you nudged it forward, now you put it in front of them, and you end up getting a hit that way. Kelly, I did not forget about the spotlight. Not at all. I just have no idea how to access it because I don't have access to Roger's YouTube stuff or anything. I don't know how to access it. I'll be honest with you. That's a new one on me. If I have a way of doing it from here, from my side of things, I'll do it. If not, we can use it for next week. But as of right now, I don't know. I've never done it from my side before, so you got me on that one. Rod Knockers, what's going on, brother? Good to have you in the house. Yeah, exactly, Freddie. It's the diameter. You get a lot more. If you're spooling a big reel, you better keep that in mind. You better buy a couple of spools from Freddie, not just one, because you ain't going to make it to the next one. I promise you that. Let's see. Miss Nina, what's going on, Miss Nina? Good to have you in the house. Let's see. Let me kind of scroll on down. I think I missed. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Watch what we going to do here. Happy. Watch what we going to do here, Kelly. I'm going to post you the link. Okay. I got your link in chat, but if you want to come on in here and explain to me how to do the spotlight, we will play it because it is about that time. Let's see. Harold James, so many people hit all the obvious spots. They get a lot of pressure. Yeah, and I guess I'm lucky in that way because we really don't. I don't have a lot of pressure at all. Hardly any. What's going on, Kelly?
Not much. What about you?
Oh, just doing a little show. That's all. All right. So walk me through this. How do we do that from my end?
Over on your right side, you see where it says banner and comments. All right, go to brand.
Go to brand. Okay.
Okay. And then scroll down where it says videos. Video
clips.
Heck.
Now, is this the one that's 1:54?
Yeah, it should be the third one down.
Yeah, okay, all right. I see the
or something like that. It should be the last video clip.
Right. Oh, yep. It was that easy. Okay, got you. All right. Yep. Well, here it comes, straight from the Bullock Experience. This week's highlight.
We about to turn it on.
That was awesome. Yeah, it does work really easy when you do it that way. I just didn't think to look in that spot. That was pretty cool. So what's
All
been
right, we'll
happening?
jump back
Well,
down. I'm gonna jump back down then.
all right, later.
See,
There he is. Great spotlight of our buddy Mike Greenwell. I love it, man. The highlights are getting better and better and better every week. He has a great job with them, and Kelly goes through a lot of trouble to get that to us and upload it. It's a whole process, but it's a great part of the show. I love it. And for those that don't know, some of the members of our community, it gives a little spotlight to them. Lets them it lets them see what's going on. But yeah, I love the discussion about the high river because I think everybody's pretty much dealing with the same thing right now. High, full of trash. It's the bank guys' time to shine, I believe. I really think it is. I know for sure that our fish have stopped moving around everywhere in the slow river, and now they're pinned down. I love it. They're a little more predictable for me. They're a little easier to find. I don't have to scan 30 spots anymore. I can scan probably 6 or 7, and they're going to be in one of them. That's what's good about knowing your waters that well. And it pays to study. It pays to study your waters, pay attention to what goes on, pay attention to how your body of water reacts to different things. Pay attention to how a big rain affects it. In my case, rising river, falling river, different current speeds. Pay attention to how that affects your body of water. Because what that is going to do is not all of us can be on the water every day of the week. Most of us, like me, we work full-time jobs. We just fish when we can. But if you really, really study your body of water, how different things. Wait. Okay. All right. Good night. Had to turn the camera off. Caleb didn't have a shirt on. Okay, but he's going to bed early tonight. Okay, so like I was saying, if you really study your body of water very carefully and how different things affect it, you basically get to predict. You start to learn when something happens, you automatically know in your mind, okay, these fish aren't going to be here, aren't going to be here, aren't going to be here. They're probably going to do this. And you can start picking fishing spots while you're still at work or still driving or whatever it may be. You may have to look at the water real quick when you get there to kind of make a final decision, but you can start eliminating those spots that they're not going to be. That high, trashy river that we're dealing with, there's a lot of spots I just drive right on by because I know, through experience, I'm not going to waste my time. They're not going to be there. I'm not going to catch a fish there. I'm not going to go through the frustration. It helps to research these things. That's why I'm a big advocate for Google Earth Pro, for Navionics, for all these things that allow me to study my body of water and how it reacts to different things. It will teach you a lot about what goes on in your waters. Then you can apply what all these people in YouTube and all the other platforms have taught us about how fish behave. You apply the behavior knowledge to the knowledge of your body of water, and before you know it, you're going to get to the point where you're going to go to your first couple spots and be able to find fish because you're going to know. You're going to know that they should be here. They should be here, and it will. Like for me, I have a limited amount of time to fish, and it just helps me dial in those fish so fast. I don't usually have to spend hours and hours hunting fish. Usually I can get on fish pretty fast if I'm correct about the way I'm reading the situation. Yeah, you're right, Mike. There's no better feeling than finding it on a map and, studying the river, studying the flow, studying everything, then saying, okay, I think this is why they're going to be here. And then you show up there, mark fish, and you catch them. You know, that is a great thing to happen. I have a feeling, Richard, that you know the answer to this question. You probably want to see what I say about it, but my simple explanation is just that's the way they are designed. They are designed to be close to the bottom, and that's just where that fish is comfortable, is being close on the bottom just because of the design. I'm gonna say it has something to do with their body shape. They're genetically designed to be close to the bottom. I'm sure there's a more technical answer somewhere, and I could be way off, but I took a swing at it. Why not, right? Let's see. 922. Inexpensive sonar that you would actually use. That is a great question. Now, and because we actually went through this not very long ago, I am a Lowrance guy. I always have been. So is Dad. When he needed a new sonar on his boat, doesn't do a lot of catfishing, things like that off of his boat, a smaller boat. He can, he can. He's got the rod holders and everything. Wasn't going to go out and buy a $2,000 unit naturally just for what he wanted to do. We actually went with the Lowrance hook, the hook reveal, the 7-inch screen, and I forget what we paid for it at the time. I want to say it was like a $450 unit, maybe $500. And he got the triple shot that has the down scan, side scan, 2D sonar. It's for that amount of money. It's got a lot of great features. I love the hook versions of the Lowrance for those reasons. I think for as far as bang for the buck, you get a lot of great stuff. I can't quote you on the other brands what their budget stuff is because I've never owned them. I've only ever owned Lowrance. That's where I'm at. But for that particular brand, I love the hook models. The hook models for the money. They're a great little sonar. It'll get whatever you done want. I promise you. Let's see. Let me come back through chat. Oh, here we go. See, I knew he had an answer. They are negatively buoyant. Catfish don't naturally float like bass. See, body design. I was close. That's a good reason too. That is a good reason too. The current is faster at the surface and it's slower on the bottom. Unless you got something weird like I got going on with a hydro that its discharge chute is 100 feet under the surface of the water. That'll throw some weird things in there. But again, knowing your body of water. But that is a good reason too. The higher you come up, which is why when you hook, especially a big fish in current, you start yanking on him and he comes up to the top of the water, you're going to have all kinds of problems. Pull him slow, ease him along the bottom until he gets to the boat. That is why right there. That is why you do that. Because when he comes up, he's getting in faster water and he opens his mouth like a dang 5-gallon bucket. And you've got problems on your hand. You just seem to be trying to pull a drift sock in. It's, yeah. Right, Murillo. Let's see. Yeah, that's what Dad's saying about his. It works great. It's easy to use. Couple of buttons, and you're done. For the money, I think it's a great little sonar. I wouldn't be scared to put one in my boat to do what we do. I use 2D sonar probably 95% of the time for the fishing I do. I could probably do without side scan, to be honest with you, for now. I'm still learning more about it, but for finding fish, those blues in the deep water, 2D does it for me. Let's see. See, who's all going to the National Fishing Expo in Columbus this weekend? I know I won't. I won't be there, unfortunately. There's a lot of stuff I have to miss out on. Let's see. I'll trade you. I have a Hook 4. Hey, it'll get it done. I have the one I have on my boat. It's an older unit now. It's like 4 years old now. It is a Lowrance Elite 9 TI2. It's the older touchscreen version. It's an older unit, but man, it still works great. I don't have a reason to replace it just yet. It's just because it works great. So hey. Yep, David's right. Bass Pro is really good about having good sales on stuff like that. Like especially the model, if they're trying to like come out with a new model, boy, them older model will be for sale for real cheap. Oh, there you go. JR Fishing will be in Columbus with Tackle Bandit. So, interested in meeting Richard and Jamie in person? There you go. They will be there. Did anyone ever test the difference in bottom and surface temps in correlation with fish activity? This question was asked a while back, and I forget who it was we were talking with that asked the same question. And to my knowledge, nobody has really been able to do it just yet. You'd somehow have to have, I guess, a temperature probe with enough wire to get, to put it on a rod and reel with a big weight and to get it down there to try to test this stuff. I'd be very curious about that myself. I really would be. I would be curious. I bet that'd be an interesting thing to see is how the water temperatures, correlate, let's say from the top of the water column all the way down, different depths, things like that. It would be interesting. Buckeye's good point. New models come out December 1st, right after the Black Friday sales. So usually after Christmas, they have awesome sales. Trying to get rid of all the stock that they still have to get the new stuff in. Bass Pro is really good about that. They have sales all the time. Well, I think we had a really, really good discussion. I think we got kind of deep into the fast raging dirty water subject. So hopefully some of the stuff I showed y'all, even though it's a little extreme from my situation, hopefully some of that you can kind of put that in your minds and translate that to where y'all fish, and hopefully it helps y'all get on some fish. That's I'd love to hear when people catch fish and they say, hey, that thing that y'all talked about, we tried it and we went caught fish. So I love hearing that. I really do. I love helping people catch fish. I love hearing people catch more fish, bigger fish, whatever it is you're after. I love hearing about it. It really does make my day. It does. Well, guys, we're going to end it right here for tonight. I thank y'all very much for coming in and listening to me ramble for pretty much an hour straight. We will be back next week with a really awesome show. Roger and I have talked about it already, so get ready for that. But until then, guys, tight lines, bon pêcher, everybody. Thank y'all.